I wanted to talk to you today about being a mother. I think that being a mother is one of the most important jobs that any woman can take on, and I am very proud to say that I am a mother, but my heart is really heavy right now because, again, today there was a news story about a little girl who was murdered by someone who was her mother's boyfriend, and her mother and that man had only been together for 1 month. And I don't know what city or country y'all are from, but where I'm from, being together a month does not equate boyfriend. And therefore, your child should not have even known this man, let alone have been living with this man, and should not have been left alone with this man. Now, I know that people are going to say I'm being judgmental, but I'm going to prefix it to say this. I don't care about being judgmental. I'm about to speak the truth, because reality is what reality is, and too many kids are dying because there are mothers out there who value having a man in their bed more so than having a wholesome family environment for their child. Nothing burns me up more than going to the grocery store or to the mall, and there's this woman and she's dragging 2 kids behind her, and she's cussing out this one and she's cussing out that one. These kids are 3, 4, 5 years old. You little nigga, you little motherfucker, you little stupid ass bastard. Who talks to little kids that way? And don't sit there and act like you haven't seen that, because I know we've all seen that. We've all seen people talking crazy, mothers talking crazy to their kids. And I'm just like, it's one thing to say, hey, quit acting bad, or quit acting, inappropriate, or whatever you say to your kids. Don't do that. You know that's not right. Quit acting bad. It's another thing to call them a little MFer, call them stupid, tell them you're not going to ever be anything, you just like your stupid ass daddy. Who talks to kids that way? You want to know who? People who don't give a damn about what happens to their kids later on. Those are the same women who bring men into their home that they don't know, who lets them lay up with them 2, 3 weeks at a time, get them pregnant, and then he's on to the next idiot. If you watch more, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You see these women on this show, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 potential fathers for 1 child, and then the guy comes out and he is clowning them. Straight clowning them. And you know why? Because he doesn't respect you. And these women have children in their home. And how do you expect your child to respect you? You're raising sons. You're raising daughters. These are kings and queens to be. Imagine what this child is going through in their home. He's seeing you getting beat in the face. He's getting beat. This man is in your house. He's beating your child from head to toe, leaving bruises on him from head to toe. Not a one-time incident, over and over again. And the little child dies, and then you're sitting there like crying on camera and all upset because you just love your baby and you don't know what happened. And I'm like, but you've seen this man beating your child over and over again, and you didn't do anything about it. Because in your head, you're thinking, oh, I have to have help raising my child. And his own daddy doesn't want him, so I'm just lucky that anybody wants to deal with me. No, you're an idiot. Because, okay, if his daddy doesn't want him, that's not grounds for you to allow other people to mistreat him. Because you are still his mother. And it's still your responsibility to protect your children and have them growing up in a wholesome environment and a happy home where they don't have to worry about being beaten. They don't have to worry about people selling drugs. They don't have to worry about, you meeting this guy, he's getting you hooked on drugs, and now, you're tricking your 10-year-old daughter out for drugs. Kids should not have to deal with those kind of situations. Their childhood should be happy. Their childhood should know, okay, when I come home, this is a safe place. The world is harsh enough as it is. Kids need a safe place to come home to. They need the assurance that their mother is always going to be there, always on their team. Their mother, no matter what, is always going to have a positive word for them, a kind smile, a good heart for her children. And you people do not have a good heart for your kids. I don't know what's going on in the world today, but y'all are seeing your kids as burdens. Y'all are seeing your kids as a problem. If your child is a burden and a problem to you, then please give them up for adoption before you beat them and kill them, before you allow other people to mistreat them. Because you have 15, 16, 17 men in your home in a 6-month time period, and they're all mistreating your kids. They're all doing this, that, and the third to him, and hurting him, and talking crazy to him, and taking all of his innocence out of his heart. And then you have this child who's going out, and yeah, he's skipping school. Yeah, he's experimenting with drugs. Yeah, he's, 12, 13 years old, and he's out getting girls pregnant. And you have this daughter with no self-esteem, and she's 12 years old, and she barely even developed, but she's having sex with some 20-year-old man because she doesn't know what love is, because her own mother doesn't love her. You have these little girls, 14, 15 years old, making videos of themselves having sex and having trains ran on them because their own mother doesn't love them, and they don't know what it's like to be loved. Because their home is chaotic. There's abuse in their home. There's drugs in their home. There's women in their home who's supposed to love them, and all they're getting from that person is negativity and hatred. So you really expect them to go out into the world and have a positive self-image of who they are when their own mama has been telling them they're stupid their whole life and they're never going to amount to anything. And then you raising this son up in all this damn chaos around all this dope dealing and abuse, and then he's 20 years old and he's got this damn chip on his shoulder. He's angry. He's got all this anger in his heart, and he's going out in the world just angry and thinking that the world owes him something, and he's all upset and just feel disenfranchised, and he's disgruntled, and he doesn't want to be in a family union because his only view of family is madness. So yeah, he's dropping kids off here, there, dropping kids off all over the place. 5 kids that he's claiming, 12 other kids that he's not. And then you wonder why women are saying we can't find a good husband. Because y'all doing piss poor jobs of raising these boys, and so they're growing up and they're not making good husbands. They're not making good fathers. They're deadbeat dads because they don't know what it's like to have a parent. You don't have to have a father in your home to know what it's like to be a good parent. Because when they think of their mom, they should be like, my mom was always there for me. She, helped me with my homework, and we had great times. She tucked me into bed every night, read me a bedtime story, helped me with my science projects. I remember every Christmas we got together and trimmed the tree together. We had all these positive childhood memories, and I love my mom. And even though my dad wasn't there, she was there. And, sometimes I miss my dad or whatever, but my mama was always there for me 150%, and I respect her for that. That's not the childhood these men are growing up into. They're growing up to, my mom was a hoe. She was mean, hateful, she was a bitch, she was a hoe. She had all these different dudes in the house. She finally married this one dude or kept this one dude around, and he hated my damn guts. He treated me like shit. He used to hit on me all the time and told me I wasn't about nothing, didn't care about me because I wasn't his kid. So yeah, he's angry. And he's going out into the dating scene, mistreating women left and right. And the cycle just continues, and it continues, and it continues. And you have your daughter with no self-esteem, and she's having all these horrible problems in her relationships. And she can't keep a man because she doesn't know what it is to have a wholesome, happy relationship. And so she's picking men who are just like the men that she grew up with. A good, decent guy comes along, and the first thing she says is, oh, he's too nice. I'll mess all over him. I'll run all over him. I don't want no nice man. So she ends up being with men who mistreat her and end up having kids with her that don't stick around and don't want to be with her. And then the cycle continues. And so you've raised these 2 kids who are completely chaotic in their own minds. And they may overcome this, and they may have a normal life. But why should your child have to overcome their childhood? You should have just made it easy for them from the beginning. So then you're elderly. You've got all these medical problems, as we all do as we age. Maybe you have diabetes, high blood pressure, maybe battling cancer or whatever. And you need somebody to take care of you. Know what they're going to do? They're going to put your ass in a nursing home. They don't give a damn. They're not going to say, well, mama, come live with me and my kids. It's okay. I love you. I want you in my home. They don't want you near them. Because if they're anything like the people I know, as soon as they turned 18 and was grown, sometimes 16 and grown, or thought they were grown, they got as far away from you as possible. And I hear too many stories of I've been on my own since I was 16. You know why? Because they had so much chaos in their home that the home was the last place they wanted to be. They'd rather be in the street. So here you are, elderly, walking on a cane, no place to go, and your kids are saying, well, I could put you in a nursing home, put you in a county home. You're not coming to live with me. You're laying on the floor. You done broke your hip. You calling your kids. They're not even answering the phone because you've been so hateful to them their whole life. And they want to put up a wall between you. They don't want you close because they don't trust you because you've given them no reason to trust you. And if you are a father and you are not in your child's life, I encourage you to get into your child's life now. Do not wait another day. It doesn't matter if you don't get along with her mother. It doesn't matter, you know, that she's always arguing with you or whatever their situation may be. Your child needs you desperately. It is so important that these kids know that there's somebody that loves them. And that you are going to be there for them. Yeah, their mama may be a little crazy. But you need to get in your child's life. And let them know that there's a man there outside of their crazy ass mama that wants to be with them. That loves them. That wants to be in their life. Who wants to share his life with them. Parent your child. Because you will reap what you sow. And if you don't know what that means, it means the seeds that you plant into the ground is the food that you're going to have to harvest later. And if you are sowing rocks into the ground, you are never going to grow a bountiful harvest. And you people are sowing rocks into your kids. And how do you expect them to grow into productive members of society? And I blame everybody. I blame the mama. I blame the daddy. I blame the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, everybody who's sitting around and watching this kid being tormented and not doing anything about it. And I even blame the neighbors. Because that same person who's sending $15 to this little kid in Africa that's starving to death because they feel like that's all that they need to do and that's enough, and they've, you know, kind of cleared their conscience of helping poor innocent children, have a child next door whose mother's all strung out on drugs, and that child has worn the same clothes to school for a whole week and has not eaten except for at school, and they see that child walk by their house every single day and they don't do anything about it. But their conscience is clear because they sent $15 to Africa. It's not enough. Get involved. Because that same child that you ignored is that same child that's going to be breaking into your house later and stealing your stuff. Because that's all he knows is survival. He doesn't have the moral compass that he should have because his mom's on drugs and they steal for a living. And so now he learned to steal for a living because he wants to eat. Mentor some of the kids in your own neighborhood. Find out what's going on with the people in your own neighborhood. Work at the community center. Most neighborhoods in the hood have them. Get involved. These kids need us and they are dying. In our own backyard, there's 12-year-old girls, 13-year-old girls having babies. There's 12, 13-year-old boys murdering each other in the streets over a pair of tennis shoes. We need to be sowing into our kids. And when are we going to understand that? When are we going to start parenting our children so they can be productive members of society? Because being a mother is not enough.